lipstick. So today is another installment in my wedding makeup series. This is a series meant for helping me to do kind of trial and error for my own wedding, figuring out what makeup I want to wear. If you guys are not aware, I am having a Halloween themed wedding this year, October 29th of this year. So it is not like a traditional, like beautiful, gorgeous wedding. It's Halloween. So I didn't want to do a really like subtle, soft makeup like a lot of people love to do. I wanted to do more of a out there makeup, but yet something that's going to be classic and that I'm not going to regret years from now looking at in photographs. So I decided that I had done some previous videos to this one, and I had really had my heart set on this eye look that I recreated from Sharon Farrell. She's a makeup artist here on YouTube as well, and I had recreated one of her looks and I was just in love with the eye look. But the thing is, I want red lips on my wedding day. You guys, my channel name is Red Lipstick. I feel most comfortable in red lips. It's what makes me happy, and I feel like to not do that on my wedding day would be not being myself. So I eliminated that eye look that I saw from Sharon. As much as I absolutely loved it, I decided I'm gonna use that eye look for my engagement photos and then do something with a red lip for the wedding. So this is what I came up with today. This is a very 40s inspired makeup look. I really love the whole 40s inspired makeup looks, the Dita Von Teese looking stuff. I'm going to insert a picture that actually was the kind of inspiration for this. There's a lot more going on the eyes on me than there is in the photo. But just in general, kind of like the eye shape is what we're looking at, and then the lip color, and I want to do kind of some 40s style hair as well. So this is what I came up with today. I'm pretty sure that this is a pretty darn good contender for the wedding, if not it. I'm gonna keep trialing and erroring looks. I want to hear your guys' feedback down below about what you think. Again, keep in mind, this is not necessarily like what the traditional wedding makeup tutorials here on YouTube are. It's a little bit different aesthetic and stuff, so keep that in mind when you're leaving your comments. But yeah, so if you want to see how I did this though, just keep on watching. Alright, so I already started out with my moisturizer, and I also did use MAC Strobe Cream because it acts as an extra like moisturizer, and it also makes the skin really dewy and luminous. Then I'm going to go in with my MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NW10, and I'm going to pop that on with the Beauty Blender if my dog doesn't try to eat it. Alright, so next up, before I go ahead and do my concealer, I'm going to go in and do my brows with my Ofra Universal Pencil, just because I am going to clean up the brows a little bit with some concealer afterward, just to give that really crisp, beautiful shape. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my concealer and take care of the edges of my brows. I'm not going to do that really like heavy-duty brow look that's in the picture that I showed you guys, but I do want to clean up so there's no like stray looking hairs, and also my eyebrows are completely like, they just don't ever want to be the same shape, so I do my best to kind of clean them up and make them look as good as I possibly can. I am now at this point just going in as well and concealing any acne spots like this one right here with this as well. Okay, so for under eye concealer, I'm actually going to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer because this is another like full coverage concealer, and my foundation is full coverage, so I like the look of these two together. They pair really well and just gives me the best kind of coverage over the dark purple mess. Okay, so now to set the face, I'm going to go into the kind of like T-zone area with my MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Powder, just on like the T-zone area, any places that I would normally have acne. This is where I'm going to put this. And then for the rest of the face, I'm going to go in with my Hourglass Ethereal Light. This is one of the ambient lighting powders. Just going to go in with that and dust this all over the rest of my face. The reason I'm doing this is because this powder is actually a really beautiful kind of like light shimmery powder, but I don't want to emphasize any areas that I have acne, so I don't put it on those parts of my face. Alright, so let's get started on the eyes here. I'm going to start off with my NYX primer. This is their like liquid primer, and you guys, I've complained about this primer in the past, but I feel like my eyelid skin has changed recently, and it just adapts a lot better to these liquidy primers. So this one actually works pretty darn well. Alright, so the eyes are actually going to be relatively simple. I'm using my Smashbox Full Exposure palette, and I'm going to start out by dusting the bone shade all over the lid just to set down that primer. And then I also just realized I forgot to set my brows, so I'm going to do that real quick with my Elizabeth Mott Queen of the Fill Brow Gel. I noticed some of my hairs were just kind of sticking up, so we need to set those down. Alright, so I'm going to start out with the fluffy crease brush, and as always, I'm going to be leaning towards the cool shades in this palette. I'm going to start out with this taupey shade right here, and just start to put that in my crease. Making sure that on my hooded eyes you can see it, so it's a little bit up on the hood in this area here, so that when my eyes are relaxed, people can actually see that I have eyeshadow on. And when I get to like the outside edge of my eye here, I'm kind of like flicking it up toward the tail of my brow, just to create a little more interest and shape for my hooded eyes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same brush, go into the little bit deeper color, tap off any extra, and actually go a little bit, like really try to get it only in the actual crease of my eye, and then follow that flick line out to the edge. We're just deepening up the crease, creating a little bit more depth and interest. And then once I have that shape laid out, that's kind of like a flick like that, I'm going to drag it down to the outer V. Just making sure that the outer V is nice and deep as well. Now I do like to diffuse the line a little bit, just so it's not so scoopy. I like to give it more of a cat shape, so I just take the same brush, and what I'm really doing is just kind of like blending up the edges, just so it starts to make more of a cat shape. And then I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and do the same thing, just blend out these edges, make sure they're not too harsh. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with my little brush that came with the Smashbox palette. I'm going to go into the black shade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deepen up that outer V. And then just keep going back in with my blending brush, making sure the edges are nice and blended. Nobody wants harsh lines in their wedding pictures. Alright, so now I'm going to take a flat little shader brush, and I'm going to go ahead and dip into my Hourglass powder that I had used before, this shimmery powder. And I'm just going to take this and put this underneath the brow bone. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going into my MAC Vanilla Pigment. And today I'm going to be applying that on a shader brush. I'm going to use the same one that I just used for my brow bone. And I'm going to be spraying this with a little bit of MAC's Fix Plus. And dipping into my Vanilla Pigment and getting this all over the lid. The great thing about getting product wet is that it makes it a lot more shiny, iridescent, which is what I am going for today. And once I get up to like the black, all I'm doing is really just kind of gently dragging whatever's left on the brush over the black so it kind of transitions nicely. I'm so excited for this eye look, you guys. Okay, so now I'm actually going to be using, I'm going to use the same Vanilla Pigment on the inside corner of my eyes as my highlight as well. So I'm just going to take a little bit more. Then in there, I am dragging it a little bit under the like first part of the lower lash line as well, just to really make my eyes look awake and wide. I'm really sorry if I'm out of focus. So for our lower lash line, I am going to start out by going into the medium shade. And I'm just going to take this on kind of like a, actually I should grab an accent brush. I'm going to take this on an accent brush and dip that in there. Just go under the lower lash line with this. I'm going to take it all the way along the lashes. Not to the inner corner where we put the highlight already, but just along the lashes. Alright, now I'm going to take an angled brush and dip into the black. And just go on the outer 1/3 of the eye with the black. Alright, so now to keep the eyes wide open like this, on the lower lash line I'm going to be putting a nude pencil. This is just my NYX Wonderpencil, and I'm going to get that in on the lower lash line. I'm actually not going to be putting anything on the upper waterline just because that's going to transfer down onto the lower waterline and screw up my nude color that's there. So we're going to leave it alone. And now I'm going to be lining my eyes with the Maybelline EyeStudio. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a flick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hug the lashes as tightly as I can with this, just so it doesn't look strange because the waterline's not going to be filled in. So I'm just taking an angled brush like this, dipping into the Maybelline gel eyeliner, and I'm going to really hug the lash line with the black. Alright, so I did switch over to a Morphe brush to do the eyeliner. This is kind of like an accent brush. It's not labeled which one it is, but I switched over because for some reason with the angled brush, it was removing the black that I had just put down, and it was really, really frustrating. So I found that this one ended up working a lot better. So I'm just going to keep going with that. Okay, so now I've got that line the way that I want it. I'm going to go back to the angled brush this time and use that to create my little wing. On my hooded eyes, it's hard to create a wing, but with a look like this, it should be relatively easy because I just follow the outside corner here. It's not going to be a big, like, dramatic wing or anything. It's going to be very small, so. Alright, so just to make sure everything all meets up really nicely, I just went back in with my black eyeshadow and made sure it all met up with the wing really nicely. I also swept a little bit more black under the eye just to make it a little bit more smoky. Because I think that that really added something to it. I went a little too far down here, but I'm going to clean this up with a little bit of concealer real quick. Apply my MAC Extended Play Mascara on top and bottom lashes, and then I'm also going to be applying falsies. Alright guys, check out these lashes, if you can even see them. They're like completely... They have the really long lashes on the end, and then they taper inward, so they give you that like cat eye shape. I love these. I've worn them before in a tutorial. I don't remember which one, but yeah. So those were the Ardell, they're the Ardell Curvy lashes. Alright, so now let's finish up this face. So for blush, I'm going to be using the Colourpop Pegacorn blush. It's like a bright pink blush. It looks really scary in the pan, but it actually comes off as like a really natural, like flushed face. I apply it with a stipple brush, and it's just so gorgeous. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with my contouring powder. This is my Sephora Colorful Tranquil Sculptor Contour Powder. I love this. It's like a nice cool toned powder for those of us with super pale pink skin tones. Just gonna go in and contour the cheekbones today. Now we are moving right along here to highlighter, and I'm using the Wet n Wild Fergie Collection Centerstage Collection Rose Champagne Glow Highlighter, which I absolutely love because it's extremely natural looking and beautiful. Alright, so real quick I'm going to spray some Fix Plus on my face just to meld all those powders together because I am dry skinned and I don't want it to look like I have a powdery face. And then while that dries, I'm going to go in with the final step, which is lips, and I'm going to be using Jeffree Star's Redrum lipstick. You guys, I want red lips for my wedding. That's who I am. It's me. I'm doing it. And this is my favorite longwear liquid lipstick in red. Like, it's the best red color ever. Alright guys, and that is the completed makeup look. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be my wedding makeup look. I am super excited. I think that this is beautiful. Yeah, just kind of like a classic take on 40s inspired makeup. There's a lot more going on with the eyes than the picture that I originally showed. And yeah, I just absolutely love this. I did something similar to this a long time ago in a different video, a really old video, with an old camera, and I like this one so much more. So definitely let me know down below what you guys think about this makeup look if you like it. Please keep in mind that it is a Halloween wedding, so we're not going for subtle. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I put out new ones every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And thank you again for watching. Have a great day.